This is my favorite question. I'll give you an answer in two parts. The first part, the words are by John F. Kennedy, but the message is for the whole world. And I bet almost everybody in this room has heard this expression. It's when you're looking for help in the world. And it begins, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So the first point is the only people that will lift up agriculture in Kogi State are the people of Kogi State. So first, you're the start. The second part of this is agriculture is not just about doing what I did the other day when I was outside of Kano, and that is to put some shoots of rice into the rice paddy. Agriculture isn't just about planting and harvesting. It's about every stage of the agricultural economy. It's about the whole value chain, from deciding what land, what farmer, what seed, what fertilizer, what tool, irrigation, harvesting, storage, processing, advertising, selling, credit, marketing, and then repeat. It's about that whole value chain. But fundamentally, agriculture is about the people in the chain. So the one thing that I would urge you to always do as you seek to do agriculture in Kogi State is focus on the farmer. Ask yourself, is what we're doing putting more money at the end of the day in the pocket of the people that farm? If it is, people will rush to farm. And if it isn't, people will run away. All the planners in the world won't get somebody to be a farmer if farmers aren't making money. So don't keep score by how much you're producing alone. Don't keep score by how much taxes people are paying alone. Focus every day on the farmer and on all those other people in the chain. It's just like a soldier. If you don't focus on the men and women who work for you, you will never be a commander. So that's the second point. And then the third point is this. I can't tell you today what it is that will work here. We talked earlier a little bit about rice farming and some techniques there. But I can tell you this. One of the things that we'll do when we go back is to see if we can put up on the website of the embassy a bunch of best practices and ideas that have been helpful to farmers in other states and in other countries. We'll put links there, and we'll do it with you in mind so that it can become a resource for every person who can get online and look for it. But so that will do, and Eric will help to make sure that I do it. But there's one last thing. You're right, America is a remarkable breadbasket. In fact, today, agricultural exports are probably the greatest export from the United States. So this is an example of how no matter where you are in the development chain, agriculture can be terribly important to a nation. And so we've got great reservoirs of wisdom and ability there. Some of them produce some of the best seeds in the world. Some of them have some of the best techniques for farming in the world. Some of them work on irrigation, these companies. And you all, to get those companies to come here, some of them are incredibly good, for example, at taking care of the dairy industry and that whole value chain. I was up in Jos the other day and I saw a marvelous dairy that produces farm fresh milk, world-class milk, focusing on every stage of the value chain to make sure that it's good, and it gets to the customers all the way here and in Lagos and in Port Harcourt, all around the country, still fresh. This whole chain of trucks and everything else. Anyway, the bottom line is we've got a lot of people that I know would be interested, and what we'll try to do is to come up also on that website with folks that you can reach out to. But if you've got a commissioner of agriculture, or if you've got a team that's interested in agriculture, Governor, I would love it if you could make sure that we're connected with them so we can share every lesson learned and every tip that we can with the people of your state that are interested in it. Thank you very much. Abraham Lincoln learned to read and became educated reading a book by a fire. He had no light except the light of a fire. And he wore out his eyes, but he enriched his mind without much light. And he read his whole life. There is a program right now that is just launched in Nigeria to sell for a very modest price a large solar panel that can go onto a roof. And from that panel can come 4 wires that can light 4 lights, or 1 light, a fan, a small charger of cell phones, and perhaps a small TV. This solar panel, the company is called Lumos. They're marketing this with the MTN cell phone company. What you do is if you're interested, I will tell them to look at Kogi State, to think about rolling it out here. The goal is to roll it out nationwide. But the idea is that with a single light bulb in the evening, an Abraham Lincoln who's been born here of the future can read his book. He doesn't have to read by the fire. With a single light bulb, somebody who wants to sell something late at night can sell that. With a single light, somebody who has a clinic can see a patient late at night after dark. And the cost of this system might well end up being less than the cost of a generator, and also pollute less than some sort of other alternative. So that's a program that the taxpayers of the United States have supported with a $50 million working capital grant. The goal is for there to be 200,000 of these panels on the roofs of homes and businesses in Nigeria by the end of this year. We'll see if we get there. The goal is 500,000 next year. And seems to me there ought to be a few helping students learn in Kogi State. You asked other questions, but what I'd like to do is this, in terms of what we can do in other areas to help. If you put together this notion of the environment, it is a wonderful thing to take solar power. It's perfectly clear that it's a good help to the environment. But I wanted to point out something that I've noticed, and that is that we can literally change the economy and the climate of our part of the world by planting trees. We can change erosion by how we shape the land. We can change infrastructure by whether we clear out the gutters before the rainy season, and whether the trucks that we run on the roads are too heavy or too light. There is no such thing as a government service that delivers itself or help from any quarter. But there are some things that we can do. So maybe what we can do is this. If you'll send me that list of all of your questions, I'll talk to people who are much smarter than I am and can tell you what we're doing in other areas, and then I'll share it with you. But also we'll keep looking to find ways to put on that website of ours links that can help everybody. But of all these things, the point that I want to make that's the most important is this. When I ask Nigerians, every Nigerian, what is wonderful in your country? What do you love about your country? Guess what Nigerians say? The people. 100%. I've never gotten a different answer. I'm still waiting for the first Nigerian to say the oil. No one has ever said that what they like the best about this country is oil. It's terribly important. You got to get it right. But this country is not rich because of oil. This country is rich because of you.